Let's go. Looks like we're live now, and today I've got June Del Rosario with me. She's running our social media for the Tristan and Associates side of our business. And she's not only a super nice person, she's absolutely brilliant at what she does. So, June, can you do a quick intro as to your background and what you do now?
Oh, hi everyone. Yeah, my name is Jun Del Rosario. I am now a marketing director for Tristan and Associate. But before that, I was actually a content creator. I also manage social media accounts for a lot of companies, a lot of individual, and I think that's where I got my talent from. And yeah, I pretty much do a lot of marketing stuff and a lot of content curation, and yeah, pretty much that's it.
Perfect. Well, look, you do such a great job. I want to just get right into it. Part of the challenge that most people face is that they don't understand that they can automate their social media through amazing people like you. So I want to showcase that. Let me just shut this one off really quick, June, because it keeps on making a noise. So one of the things that I love that you do is that you actually curate the content for us. You create the graphics, you create the process as to how and when they're going to be posted, right? I'm just going to give an example off of our Instagram. You run our Instagram feed. You also run the Instagram stories, right? And if we have any videos that we've shot, you can also edit them and run them on Reels, put them on IGTV, right? So there's a lot of things that you can do out there, and people don't understand that I think they're limiting themselves only because they don't want to remove that part of what they do because they think, well, I can do it better. And the moment that I shifted and said, June can do it better, this is when we started growing. So June and I have been working together for a little over a year, and she's been handling our Instagram and part of our Facebook accounts, and she does a great job. So, June, let's talk about the social media automation. To you, what does that look like? What does social media automation look like for a virtual assistant like yourself?
Well, a social media automation is actually a process of using automated tools, which will improve your social media presence through content curation and scheduling your social media post. So the all of business people knows that there are some tools that we can use to help them reduce the amount of the time they spend on gathering posts in last minute, and so they can accounts by engaging to their audience. I think that is more important than having or spending a lot of your time doing contents, and that's where they'll be able to grow their business more, instead of just spending time on content creation. They can focus more on what is important, which is engaging to their audience and building relationship, because
Okay.
most nowadays most of businesses, they actually use social media to gain more, not only followers, that's just for vanity, but to gain more customers and to also level up their business.
That's true. So, June, let's go into the actual tools that you use because you do a lot of editing. And I want people to understand that I don't do any of the editing for our graphics. It's you who do a lot of that. And so, can you tell us what are you using right now to create these graphics? And I'm going to take a moment to show some of the things that you do so people can see it while you're telling us. Let me shift over to my screen here. I'm gonna showcase, June. I'm gonna
Yeah,
showcase our
before we
Instagram.
jump into automation,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to touch base on this because before we you even jump into automating your social media accounts or grow your content, I think it is very important to set your goal, to have a strategy on, before you even start doing or creating your post. So you have to be prepared on your ideal outcome and requirements, the requirements, which are the tools that you will be using to create your post. And it is also important to have like a strategy in place before creating such. So yeah, let's go back to the tools that I'm using.
Yeah, let's do that. I think the first thing I want to show you is that we this is one of our pages that June runs, and so you can see that the color is the same. So she's taken the time to identify what the color scheme looks like, what the branding looks like, so that we never deviate from it, right? And so you can always see similar colors. You can always see that my main team runs off of Keller Williams, so we need that DBA there. And then you can also see that there's a pattern in it as well. It's always about giving value and listings that we take or properties that we've sold. You can see there, and then giving information to our clients as well. So that's one that she runs, and then I know that you also run a few different other ones. I'm gonna pop in Jeff Pfister's only because he's my friend, and I know you run this one as well. You do a lot of the graphics, so check this out too. You can see here, she's identified these and has this color scheme of blue and yellow, right? Again, important. And then you can see the things that she does here, right? She's taken the time to have this color scheme throughout and also give some value, right? And she also edits some of the videos as well that he would post in there. Sometimes Jeff throws in his own from TikTok, but June can also edit these as well. I'm showing you this so you fully understand the capabilities of what your virtual assistant for social media should be doing. Now, June, I'm going to go back to you on the tools that you use to edit, because that's a question that we get a lot. Well, what does that look like on the editing? And what does that look like on the scheduling, right? What do you use for editing?
Yeah, for editing nowadays, it's very easy to use a ready-made tools or tools that have like ready-made templates.
Okay,
Uh, so it's a combination of Canva for editing and Adobe Photoshop. And then
okay,
for videos, I use Filmora. And sometimes if anything is not available or there's something that is not available in Filmora, I ask my husband to do the edits for me. But most of the time, it's just on video edit. It's actually just the captioning and the framing, because social media different platforms requires like different frames and different resolution. So that's
okay.
most of the time that you'll use these tools for video editing. And then for automation, for scheduling, I actually use Hootsuite, later.com, um, Facebook Creator,
Okay.
and yeah, those are the three main tools that I'm
Which
using.
one, which one
Offers.
are you leaning towards? So if you say, hey, look, you've got a VA, for the people that are listening in, what would that look like for them if they're going to have their virtual assistant run anything? Would you say, hey, look, you should be using Facebook Creator, you should be using Hootsuite, you should be using Later? What does that look like? What would you recommend?
Yeah, it actually depends on which platform you'd like to focus on or you'd like to be on. You don't really have to be on all of the platform and create different contents for each platform. So highly recommended if it's just Facebook and Instagram that you'd like to manage, and your Instagram account is a business account set up or connected to your Facebook business page. I highly recommend that you use Facebook Creator Studio,
Okay.
simply because it pretty much does everything for Facebook and Instagram, unlike the other tools that I've tried using. Say for instance, for for Instagram, for Instagram IGTV, there's no other tools than Facebook Creator where you can schedule that up, pre-schedule them. So if you will be doing IGTV a lot, IGTV is actually a feature on Instagram where you can post more than 1 minute video.
Hmm.
So there's no other tools that can do that, can schedule that aside from other than Facebook Creator. And then you can also select like your thumbnail. This is actually not available. I tested out Hootsuite and Later.com, it does actually capture thumbnail, but Hootsuite it doesn't. So if you are really into growing your brand and you'd like everything uniform, like you'd like to have it with thumbnails, I prefer using Facebook Creator Studio than Hootsuite because it Hootsuite, even if you put it in there, your thumbnail, you set it up to post with thumbnail, it doesn't normally post it with thumbnail. So it's better to have like do it on have it done through Facebook Creator Studio.
All right, so I'm in Facebook Creator Studio so people understand where this is. And you just have to type in business.facebook.com /creator studio /content. Yeah, actually, you just have to type in business.facebook.com and you can see it there. But here you can see the back end of what it looks like, right? It gives you impressions, it gives you all the details, it gives you which ones are scheduled if you have anything scheduled. On this case, we don't because we're using Hootsuite on our end. But you can see on the left here, there are some other tools. You can even check out the live dashboard, sound collection. If you have any sounds that you want to add to those videos, uh, that's that's all important. It's a pretty powerful place to check out. So that's number one. The other one is Hootsuite, which I like, right? But Hootsuite is a place where you can then automate a lot of the posts that go out into Facebook, LinkedIn, and other places as well. It's just one place. And then, June, you mentioned tools like Photoshop, Adobe
Later.
Photoshop, right? This one does really well for those people that know how to use Photoshop. I don't, so I suck at it, June. So then I go to Canva, right? I typically go to Canva. It's pretty easy for me, right? So I'm glad that you use both. And then you also mentioned you mentioned Filmora, right? And so Filmora is what you typically use to edit the videos that you post up. Are those the stories that you do, or are those for IGTV? Where how do you use Filmora?
For Filmora, it doesn't work like um what's the other one? Like the other platform where it automatically create captions for the video, but you can actually do a manual video caption through Filmora. Of stickers and templates like the outro
Okay.
and for the videos.
Okay. Let me show one of the things that you mentioned here earlier, because the way that Instagram works, even though Instagram and Facebook are the same, the Creator Studio is a slightly different one. I love this one. I like this back end of Instagram. You can see I could go to Facebook, I can go to Instagram on the top, right? That's where I switch it. If we go to Instagram, there's a calendar here that we can then see, well, what time things are going to be posted out, right? And one thing that we've noticed over the years with Instagram is if you post consistently at the same times, Instagram loves that. And it starts saying, well, we can now rely on this specific profile to post consistently, to post at the same time, and we're going to give it more love. That's just the way the algorithm works. So when we look at posting ahead of time, June, are you using this Instagram calendar right now? Is this what you've identified with the most for us?
Yes, I'm using the calendar. For Creator Studio though, for those who'd like to use the Creator studio, and if you will be assigning it to your virtual assistant, like doing the scheduling for you, um, the trick there is to actually add your virtual assistant on your Facebook page as
Mm-hmm.
your admin, as an admin for the page. Otherwise, when they log into their Facebook account and go to the business.facebook.com, your Instagram and Facebook page won't appear on their end.
Got it. So add your VAs
So
as admins into the pages.
they
Perfect.
can schedule the contents.
Awesome. All right. So then, June, you don't just manage ours, you also manage part of the teams too, right? This is why I see other people's. Like if I go in here, I see Joanne, and over here I thought I saw Tiffany's, right? There's Tiffany's. So
Mhm.
when you're managing different accounts, how is it that you stay on top of everybody's account? What do you use to make sure that you're posting for everybody at the right times?
So as a virtual assistant, or if you will be asking somebody to manage different profiles at the same time, or different posting, I
Mhm.
think it's also very important that you teach them how to organize. You can actually use ClickUp. That's what I'm using. I'm gonna share my screen
Oh, let
for
me
that.
unshare my screen. Go ahead. Show me
Yep.
what you're using.
Just 1 second.
Perfect.
Um, yes. Can you see my screen?
I can see it. I see email. There we
All right.
go.
Can you
ClickUp.
see my ClickUp?
I see ClickUp.
So when yeah, it's you can actually use the old way, the old do it all on the old fashioned way, or you can actually use like a tool like ClickUp. It is actually a productivity tracker. That way it will be more organized than having it listed manually on a sheet of paper or what have you. So for TNA, for Tristan and Associate, Myra prefers to, my boss actually prefers to have it this way because it's easier for her. So we created a spreadsheet where I can put in all the 1 week ahead posts that I created, and then she'll just check the captions, um, put on some notes if there are any changes that needs to get done, and then the hashtags, and also sometimes we put in what time it should be posted. So it you can do it this way, or if you are the one who's more comfortable using productivity tracker, um, this is more on high level. Like what Tristan said, I'm only not managing one account. So what I do is I create a space for on ClickUp per agent. Say for instance, for TNA, I have a content calendar ready there. Here you'll be able to see the listing and the post that I created for Tristan and Associates. So let me just show you my content tracker there. Sorry, I have to migrate because I have different space created before, but I have to get it migrated.
There you
um
go.
Sorry.
That's okay. You're working on a lot of our companies, so
Yep.
it makes a lot of sense. All right. So what you're seeing on the back end here is how she keeps track of everything that she's going to post so that we know that it's the right thing and she can share it with whoever. In this case, she just shares it with us and says, "Hey, is this looking good?" But at this point, she's on a roll, so she doesn't ask us very much. She just posts it, which is great.
Yep. So what I do for say for instance for just an agent alone, I created a folder for all of the agents, and then I created a list for each agent where they can just post any idea, like if they found anything online that they'd like to rebuild or recreate according to their branding. They'll
Mhm.
just put everything here on the idea board, and then once I already get them created, or I already have them ready for checking, I will drag that idea here, and then they can review it and then put everything that is ready for review here. So
Mhm.
how it looks like is normally it will look like this. This is the simple way, but I have the other one which is um more on a high level. But for this one, I will just simply put in the suggested caption, and then all of the hashtags relevant to the post. And then when they can grab everything that is ready to post under ready to post section. And once they already have it posted, they can put it under publish.
What we use ClickUp for instance, is to keep track of everything that we're doing, not just for social media, but it's been so good for us. Tristan, how do you keep it local to your area? Um, Ruby, do you mean specifically for the social media posts? Like, how do we keep it local to that? Like pictures of Malibu and the surrounding areas? Is that what you're talking about? Perfect. So one of the things that she was talking about on the back end of ClickUp is our ability for our agents to place the type of content they want to showcase. So if our agents want to show more local pictures, they can either send them to her through message, through Messenger, through Dropbox, or going on ClickUp and upload, hey, June, can we showcase some of these pictures? And then June's job is to make sure that we're using the right hashtags, and then make sure that the right verbiage is there, and then tag the right people. So that's what we typically do. So great question on that, Ruby. And I want to showcase here one thing on ClickUp, because it's important to showcase the program itself, because I get a lot of questions as to, well, why are you guys using this and not something as easy as Trello? And so I'm going to showcase it really quick, and then we'll end it with that. But here on the back end, I'm on the back end of ClickUp, and see, you can see here everything that we're doing: to do, personal brand operations, video production. This is where we keep everybody organized, so that anything that we have to do gets done here and gets assigned to the right person. So this is our responsibility here. You can see my YouTube videos, right? And there was, it was already done, but that's mine. And individual coaching, my companies, our content, and if we want to go in further, what the things that we're working on. But this is the place that everybody comes to and decides, well, hey, this is where we're going to outline things. This is what we're going to do consistently. And that's what a lot of people are missing on the back end when you're running a VA team or a staff that's virtually connected. There's no place for people to go to be able to say, hey, this is what we're working on. This is our working on now, working on in the future. This is what we've done. And that's the key to working with your virtual staff. This is why we've done such a great job with June. Not only is she talented, right, but she's able to keep track of that in one place, and then from there quarterback it to where it needs to go, right, for the whole team. And that's the important part. With Ruby, you have another question. How about video? Do you send raw video that June edits? Yes. For instance, this morning I went into my Dropbox folder and I uploaded a video that I shot on my camera, this camera that you see right here. I'll show you the back end of this so you can see how we use it for social media. But at the very top, you can see here, this is my Dropbox, my YouTube channel, right? And I know that I need to upload it in there, right? And so this is where they go ahead and they itemize it for me, and then they create folders. If I go in, let's see, my latest one, I think it was, I don't know if it was this one, but let's say it was this one. They already have the PNG that they've created, right? There you go, the picture. And then the raw video, right? The short intro and the actual video. There it is. And now they can work on it, dump it in there, and then it's done. And they do that for everything. All I have to do is put in just upload the video, the raw footage, and they're going to do everything else, right? They'll make the little cuts for Instagram, they'll put it up on YouTube, they'll do everything. And I think that's the power of having a strong team that you send things out to so that you can have consistency in your social media. That's the key right there. So, Ruby, great questions. And thanks for joining us over on Facebook. I know that we got cut off here. I don't know whose internet it was, but we're back. And thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, everybody.